Old man Woody likes the crooked cock.
On board with this. Yeah, but I don't want it to distract from my RTS habit because that's
that habit has to continue. We're having a good time with
full-time session. I love it. I really do. I like getting together, especially when Chiz plays with us. He rarely does because he's got to stick up his ass. I think he thinks he's better than us.
He did play today.
All he ever talks about is how much money that he's taken from those fat cats on the stock market and then pumping right to the Sanders campaign. I don't know what he called it, some sort of a shit loop or something. I don't know, but
shit loop.
Yeah, that's all he ever talks about is Sanders, the campaign, and how he's finding ways to get multiple people under his umbrella because you can only donate a certain amount of money. So he's like having he's donating in his mother's name and his father's name, just anybody and everybody he can get a hold of. He asked me if he could donate if he could donate like $2,300 in my name or something. I was like, fuck no, absolutely not. I will sue you if you do that.
Yep. He's asked us all, and you just have to be steadfast. It's a lost cause, Chiz.
It's over.
I'm sorry.
It's over.
You need to give that up and get more time into Company of Heroes and Age of Mythology, so
all
you
right,
can catch
Kyle,
up.
I want to hear more about our advertisers, our sponsors.
Well, which one in particular would you like to hear about, Woody?
Tracker.
The next one.
What was that?
Tracker, I said.
Which one?
If you want me to pick one.
Oh. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna.
I want to see her rape.
Do we need to roll back the tape on this?
No. Let me explain. Let me explain that position because I don't want to see her raped. But once they put her in a position in which it's logical for her to be raped, then if she doesn't get raped, I'm disappointed because they've let me down. It's not that I enjoy the rape. It's that, well, you put her in a position where logically she should be raped. So you just went on an illogical turn and sort of lowered my opinion of your show.
It's like when the cliffhanger is the
situation.
car in midair having driven out of the parking garage, right? If the next thing starts with it on the platform and everything's cool again, no. It had to crash. It was in a position where crashing was the only option.
The only thing I can think of is that, like, Dothraki people like that, for all they know, they could see her and think something like, oh, that's a demon. I know because of her hair. Like, I've heard the stories, this fucking bitch. Like, that could be a thing, but it also, more realistically, it does seem like, season 1, they came off as a very rapey group of people. And now to suddenly see this other group not be rapey at all, like cracking jokes about how Daenerys needed sunscreen when they were riding back. It's like, what is this? Like fucking Frasier? Or are you like rapist cattle driver? Like what's going on here? Like it was really
they literally
they
did crack jokes about sunscreen.
They can't have them rape like just anyone. Every time a woman comes up to talk to them solo, they can't be like, well, in real life they would fucking rape her. Like you can't do that because then you can't move the story forward with that. You can't just keep coming back like this time they're going to hear me out.
It's not that they rape every woman they see, but when they conquer or capture something, when they conquer or capture something, then yes. But if it's another Dothraki woman, a woman that's like there are like laws for respecting her, like or whatever, they're not just raping their own people. They feel like remember they were talking about the lamb men, like they felt like the lamb men were like a lower race of people, and the lamb men weren't like a different race of people necessarily. They were just people who herded lambs instead of being fucking horse lords or whatever the hell. They're super rapey people. When they conquer or capture something, they're taking possession of it, and they just see that, yeah, I raped this thing because I captured it. They would have totally raped her in a logical world, and they didn't. So I'm just wondering why I don't like it, and I don't like that actress either. I don't like that she's not topless anymore. I mean, a big part of the books is that her titty is literally hanging out all the time. They mention it all the time. They talk about how what's his name, Jorah, was like distracted. And imagine how great that would be if we had Jorah trying not to look at the titty. Like, imagine those tense conversations they have when he's like, "My Khaleesi, I love you." He's trying to like explain to her that he's so sorry for what he's done, but he can't.
If every scene with every guy
it's always out.
Every scene with every guy for 6 years was them like subtly breaking eye contact.
Yeah, and like she's eating and like dribbles something on her titty, and he's like, "Oh, you've got some raspberry jam on your titty." On your teeth.
Like that. old fucking maester.
You know, she did have like a boob out all book long. Like, and I kind of feel like that would
She
make
did. That was the
thing
style
better.
there, which is I don't like at all because it's like
I'm a big fan.
I would prefer no boobs out to one out. I want a little bit of symmetry, not this toga look. You know, that's almost.
Oh, I love it.
That's more of a tease than anything.
I feel like the more boobs, the better. And
at least then you get an honest nipple appraisal up front. So
An honest nipple appraisal.
Which
yes, that's a nice nap.
Look, I don't like that she's refused to do any more nudity because it takes away from the show. It's clear to me that they're shooting around that and that we're not seeing what we would normally be seeing. And, I mean, nudity was a big part of the show initially and sort of remains a big part of the show, but not with our main characters. And that's one of the things I appreciate about the show. I'm not like, yeah, show me up titties again. Like, I know where they are. They're on the fucking internet anytime I want to see them. It's about the continuity of the show. It's about keeping the show so at that top tier of reality in my head. This reality meets fantasy mix where, like, things don't go the way you think they are. It's kind of shitty like real life is sometimes. And sometimes it just hurts because life hurts.
People don't want, like, rape in the show. Like, if there was another brutal rape scene in this episode after that 2 episodes ago last season, I'd kind of just be like, really? Like, I get upset at little scenes in Game of Thrones more than other shows, I think, because I always am anal about, like, man, they could have spent that time, like, with Arya. Like, God, if they had 40 more seconds with Arya, they really could have got through to something. And I know that they're not going to make up for that 40 seconds next episode. You know, they're not going to just start the story again. It's something they could have had.
It's funny, the show's an hour long, yet I always find myself screaming, like, man, if there were just 45 more seconds of this. Where is all this time going? Like, that they're just using, not advancing the plot line, not doing anything cool. The show lasts for an hour.
There's a lot of stories.
There's so many stories.
When you hit 7 stories, you've only got, like, 8 minutes per story or something, or less than. You got 7 minutes. 7 stories times 7 minutes is 49 minutes. You know, you can only advance yay far unless you kill people off, and that's what's beautiful about the show. And what I hate that they've done is all of Dorne. Let me tell you why. Because if you cut Dorne out, then all of a sudden everybody else gets 10 or 12 minutes. You could do 5 stories, 11 minutes each.
5 stories really well instead of 6 or 7 stories.
Too much bullshit going on, and whoever's running the crew that's in wherever the hell Dorne is, it's not at that same high quality as the rest of the show. There's definitely a disparity there. It's the B team, and it shows for sure. I don't like anything about Dorne. I'm very excited about the show, though. I'm digging the mountain. I was looking at my girlfriend, and I was like, I hope the mountain does something. I before the show, I'll tell her all the things that I think will happen and could happen. I ran through like 8 different scenarios with Jon Snow. I was like, it could happen like this, and this, and this, and that, and one of my 8 was exactly what happened. I knew what would happen, but and before the show, one of the things I was saying was like, I need the mountain to do a thing. I need the mountain to smush something or crush something or like just get that big fucking 8-foot sword out, do a thing. And he did. I liked that he smashed that fucking guy's head and just killed him like a bug. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I'm into this season. I'm looking forward to episode 3 a lot. I got to find a way to make HBO happen on my laptop, I guess, in this fucking slum hole. I ended on that note. I love the wordplay.
That was the best shit I've ever heard.